Is Boruto stronger than Naruto? This is the question that is setting the entire anime community on fire. And let's be honest, it feels kind of wrong to even ask, right? Naruto is our GOAT. He's the legend we grew up with, the undisputed king of shinobi. But guys, the evidence I've seen from the time skip, it's undeniable. The power creep is real, and Boruto is at the center of it. Today, we put sentimentality aside, look at the cold hard facts, and we settle this debate once and for all. The Anime Bureau is officially opening case file number 006, the Killer Paradox. Our investigation will determine if the subject, Boruto Uzumaki, has surpassed the established power benchmark of his father, the 7th Hokage, Naruto Uzumaki. This is one of our most important investigations to date. Before we analyze a single jutsu, we must first address the core of the conflict, the fundamental schism that has fractured the global fandom. The entire Boruto versus Naruto debate is a proxy war between two competing philosophies of power scaling, tangible feats versus narrative statements. Okay, this is the most important part of the entire video, so listen up. This is why you and your friends can never agree on this topic. You have two sides in this war. On one side, you have Team Feats. These are the people who say, I only believe what I see on the screen. Naruto and Sasuke blew up mountains and moons. I haven't seen the new guys do that, so they're weaker. It's logical, right? You trust the visual evidence. But on the other side, you have Team Statements. They say, the author is the ultimate authority. The manga explicitly told us that the villain Code is stronger than Jigen. The manga also showed us that Jigen defeated peak Naruto and Sasuke. And then Boruto came along and casually humbled that same Code. Therefore, the logic is Boruto greater than Code, greater than Jigen, greater than peak Naruto. End of story. This is also logical. You trust the author's intent. This one disagreement, visuals versus authorial intent, is the source of every toxic power scaling argument on the internet. And neither side is entirely wrong. The series has changed how it shows power. So to solve the paradox, we need to respect both viewpoints. We will analyze the feats, and we will analyze the statements. Let's begin with the benchmark. To comprehend the magnitude of this debate, we must first establish the celestial heights of our benchmark. Peak Naruto was not a single state, but a spectrum of divine abilities, culminating in two distinct forms that represent the pinnacle of the original series. Exhibit A, the Divine Creator, 6 Paths Sage Mode. This form, gifted by Hagoromo Otsutsuki, elevated Naruto from shinobi to demigod. It is a divine state powered by 6 Paths Senjutsu and the chakra of all 9 tailed beasts. This manifested in a suite of godlike abilities. Most notable were the 10 truth-seeking orbs, spheres of yin-yang release that could nullify any ninjutsu they touched. His physical parameters were amplified to an astonishing degree, allowing him to react to attacks stated to move at the speed of light. His sensory abilities could perceive threats in other dimensions, and most profoundly, he could use a form of the creation of all things, literally breathing life into what was lost, as seen when he restored Kakashi's eye from nothing. This was Naruto as a literal savior. He could fly, create, restore, and protect. The truth-seeking orbs were basically a delete button for any attack. He was the perfect hero, with a power born from his bonds and connections. This is the god that saved the world, the impossibly high bar that the next generation had to clear. Exhibit B, the Dying Star, Baryon Mode. If SPSM was a gift, Baryon Mode was the ultimate sacrifice. Deployed against Ishiki Otsutsuki, this form is a state of internal nuclear fusion. Naruto and Kurama's chakras are consumed as fuel to generate a new, astronomically powerful form of energy. Its power is immense, but finite. Its abilities were tailored for a single purpose: victory at any cost. Its speed and reflexes were amplified to a level that completely overwhelmed Ishiki, a foe who had previously dominated both Naruto and Sasuke. Its true hacks ability was life force attrition. But let's be real clear about Baryon Mode. This wasn't a power-up. It was a self-destruct sequence, a final, beautiful flare of a dying star. It was incredibly powerful, yes, but it's also incredibly situational and honestly, a bit overrated. Its main weapon, the life drain, was only super effective because Ishiki was already on a strict timer. Use it against an immortal being like Kaguya, and Naruto would just burn his own life away for nothing. It was a one-time suicidal trump card that ended with the tragic death of Kurama. This very act was the story telling us that the old way, the power of SPSM, was no longer enough. It was the first step in a deliberate, great nerf to pass the torch. The rise of Boruto Uzumaki is not a story of linear progression. It is a story of radical transformation. His power is a paradigm shift, derived from alien genetics and esoteric arts. The foundation of this power is the Karma Seal. It is not merely a mark, it is a compressed biological backup file of Momoshiki Otsutsuki. The process of saving Boruto's life completed his Otsutsukification, rewriting his DNA. He is now, for all intents and purposes, a pure-blooded Otsutsuki in a human body. This grants him a baseline of inherent abilities: ninjutsu absorption, flight, interdimensional travel, and access to Momoshiki's millennium of combat data downloaded directly into his subconscious. So you see, Boruto got a biological cheat code. His power-up wasn't just about training harder, his very biology was rewritten. He's a human soul wielding the full hardware and software of a god. He can absorb most of his dad's biggest attacks, and he has the battle instincts of an ancient warrior. This is his new starting point, and it's already leagues beyond where his father began. This new biology has allowed him to innovate on a planetary scale with his signature technique, Rinnegan Uzuhiko. This jutsu moves beyond conventional ninjutsu to weaponize planetary physical damage. It is a conceptual attack that imposes an unsolvable condition. This jutsu is just unfair. It's not about using severe vertigo and gradual internal damage. It is a conceptual attack that imposes an unsolvable condition. This jutsu is just unfair. It's not about making a bigger explosion, it's about infecting your opponent with the planet itself. It's a permanent debuff you can't shake off. How do you fight back when the world is literally spinning you apart from the inside? It's the ultimate example of the new series philosophy. Boruto wins not by hitting harder, but by presenting an equation his opponent simply cannot solve. We now return to the central conflict: feats versus statements. To render a final verdict, we must simulate the engagements and apply the narrative's own established logic. Scenario 1. Six-path Sage Mode Naruto versus current Boruto. In a feat-based analysis, Naruto's destructive capacity is visually superior. However, Boruto's arsenal is a direct strategic counter. Karma absorbs Naruto's primary long-range attacks. Flying Raijin allows him to evade the truth-seeking orbs and control the fight's pacing. And Rinnegan Uzuhiko is a one-touch win condition for which Naruto has no known defense. Boruto's hacks-based toolkit is purpose-built to dismantle a traditional powerhouse like SPSM Naruto. Scenario 2. Baryon Mode Naruto versus current Boruto. This is the strongest argument for team feats. Baryon Mode's demonstrated speed is likely the highest in the franchise. It's plausible Naruto could land a decisive blitz before Boruto could react with a teleport. However, this is a suicidal victory at best, and it relies on a single, specific win condition against an opponent with instantaneous evasion. But here's where Team Statements delivers the knockout blow. The story itself has given us an undeniable chain of logic. The author told us, through a motto, that an unlimited code is stronger than Jigen. The author showed us that Jigen defeated peak Naruto and Sasuke. And then, the author showed us base Boruto, not even using karma, casually and completely neutralizing that same unlimited code. The authorial intent could not be clearer. So, the final verdict on the King-Killer paradox is this. If your definition of strength is the single highest, most fleeting burst of power ever recorded, then the Dying Star of Baryon Mode holds that title. But that is an incomplete, misleading definition of strength in this new era. When we analyze their complete arsenals, strategic capabilities, and the undeniable logic of the narrative's own power scaling, the conclusion is inescapable. Current Boruto is the stronger, more versatile, and higher-tiered overall combatant. He surpassed his father not by creating a bigger explosion, but by evolving into a different kind of god altogether. one who rewrites the rules of the fight itself. The paradox is resolved. The new generation has, as it was always destined to, surpass the old. And that is the official report from the Bureau. I know team feats and team statements are probably already drafting their counter-arguments in the comments, and I want to see them. This is a complex topic, and your intel is valuable. Did my investigation miss a key piece of evidence? Which side are you on? Leave your full report down below. And as always, if you want the Bureau to keep declassifying the biggest secrets in the anime world, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on. We've got some massive case files coming up that you won't want to miss.